Yo, what is good, YouTuber? Welcome back to another JC2K video. And in today's video, I want to talk about something. I gotta talk about it. Season 8 might be the worst in-game 2K has ever had, at least arguably. And that really does kind of even include 2K24, to be totally honest. Just in terms of the last real season of content, this was a really unfortunate season. And I think it's worth talking about how underwhelming it is and how it's not a good sign for 2K26 either. So before we hop into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 50,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, number one, I just want to say this. I understand a lot of people probably are somewhat disillusioned with the game, and some people probably are decently okay with things. There are parts of the game that I personally think are all right in terms of specifically like attainable cards. There are a decent amount of them. I did enjoy the weekly Invincible this season. That was probably the biggest positive by far, was Invincible Clay, Patrick Ewing, Clay, Patrick Ewing, Rudy Gay, Kevin McHale, and then I think we're getting one more, and we also got Gary Payton, who wasn't that great. But the other four really good cards, especially Rudy, McHale, and Clay, all elite level options. So there were a couple of positives, but that's about it, because mode rewards sucked. They've sucked all year, so that's not new, but this is, again, probably the worst that mode rewards have ever been in my team, realistically, is this year. They were really bad this season. That is a continuation. I don't know if they've ever been this bad in the last season of the game. Additionally, the week-to-week content was really, really unfortunate because, again, to interact with the content in any really, truly meaningful way, they're asking you to spend $100 on a GOAT box that, for half the season, didn't even guarantee you a GOAT player, to be fair. Now it does, but it's still $100, more than the price of the game on one player, basically. Because the double 100 plus is, the 100 is generally silent, and generally you don't get good pulls out of that. The double 99 pack, that's basically useless. And the GOAT event pieces are nice, but the thing is, in order to interact with the GOAT Festival in any meaningful way this season, that required you to do one of two things. Either play the game a truly absurd amount. I mean, because again, let's do the math on getting one of these players for free. I've done this multiple times, but if you, for example, wanted Ben Simmons this week, we don't even got to think about George Mersan, but Ben Simmons, you could get probably 5, 6, 7 free GOAT pieces from grinding the challenges. We'll say 7 if you grinded everything that's free in terms of challenges, and playing the games to get that will give you like probably 2 more. So now you're at 9. You need 21 more GOAT pieces. So in order to get that, you're gonna have to spend a lot of MT on base packs or play a ton of games. And if you're playing games, 21 GOAT pieces, 15 Triple Threat Park games per GOAT piece, 10 Triple Threat or 10 Showdown wins per GOAT piece, not Triple Threat Park games, wins. 30 offline wins in Rookie Triple Threat to get a GOAT piece. Like, it's a ton of games, and you need 21 pieces. All of a sudden, you're looking at 300 games in less than a week to get Ben Simmons if you're playing Triple Threat Park, which is what most people grinded online, because it would take even longer to get the 200 wins, 210 Showdown wins in 1 week. Like, that's absurd. You can't even do that. So it's basically Triple Threat offline, which is like 400, or actually I think it's like 600 games in a week to get this Ben Simmons for free, or Triple Threat online, which is going to be like Triple Threat Park, which is going to be 300 in a week if you're just grinding for the card. That's absurd. It's just absurd. And realistically, the majority of people playing this game aren't doing anything close to that type of grind, is the honest truth. So with that being said, I think these cards pretty much became inaccessible to anybody outside of like maybe the cheap players, and the only cheap players have been Ty Lue, Steve Francis, Derrick Rose. Like, they're the cheapest players. Even like a J.R. Smith or a Michael Richardson or guys like that have been 15 pieces. Dino Raja, Luol Deng are 20. Like, these guys are just not very accessible unless you play a ton of games. The only ones that are kind of accessible are the ones that are the worst. Like, it's just been very unfortunate as a whole the way that they executed this entire season, because I am of the opinion that had they executed the GOAT Festival significantly better than they did, this season would have been great. If you could realistically grind for one of these players a week in like a legitimately realistic manner, where 10 hours in a week gets you one of these cards, you know what I mean? That's reasonable. It's a lot of, that's a pretty significant chunk of time. Not everybody has a ton of time, but excuse me, why can't you get one of these cards in 10, 15, even 20 hours for one of these better players? I mean, they could have cut the requirements to get these cards so significantly. And then on top of that, to continue the problem, they then go and don't make exchanges on a week-to-week basis for these cards, because then at least you could grind for them throughout the season, right? Like, it would still be a lot of games, but it's more reasonable to pick a player you want and grind and save up GOAT pieces and get him over weeks. but there's no exchanges for the GOAT piece. So the week 1 pieces that I put in this, the week 1 gold pieces, I can't get these anymore unless I spend money on packs. And spending money to get week 1 pieces to get a week 1 GOAT player is, I mean, let's see. You get 2 of, right now at a super pack, you're going to get 2 GOAT festival cards from weeks 1 or 4. So basically a 50% chance per pack of getting a week 1 piece. Like, the amount of pieces I would have to, amount of money you would have to spend to get the pieces for those players, they're basically just not even attainable at all after a week, even though they're still in the exchange. They're not actually gettable is the problem. So it just puts you in a situation where this stuff is nearly unattainable, and you have to attain it in such a short amount of time and spend so much money to try to get it through spending money, because each HOF box only gives you what, 6 GOAT pieces. So you grind for all the pieces that are free, the 7 pieces. You get 9 with the 2 with the games that it took you to get those pieces. So there you go. We'll even say 10. You got 10 pieces from free just for playing the game and like a reasonable normal amount during the week. And then let's say you buy the 3 HOF boxes here, which is 18 pieces, and then you buy the mobile HOF box, which is another, what, 9 pieces. I think that one comes with, I'm not actually 100% certain because I haven't opened it, but I think that's what it is. So that gives you 27 pieces. So now you're at 37 pieces. That took $400 to get 37 pieces. So now, yeah, you can get Ben Simmons. Yeah, you can get Danny Ferry. Yeah, you can almost get, well, you could get Danny Granger and Ron Artest if you want. In previous weeks, you could have gotten 1, maybe half of 2 players. Like, you could get good players, but that's $400 to do that and still grinding the game a bunch. It's just incredible how expensive this stuff is. So I don't know, man. It's just been a really unfortunate season, and honestly the pack content was a bit underwhelming overall. There were parts of it that I think were decent. Like, I will say there are parts of this season's content that I didn't totally hate. The best of my team content was actually decent. Like, George Gervin's a really good card. I'm gonna do gameplay on him later today. He's a stud. Jared Allen, not that exciting. Thurl Bailey, really good card. Chris Mullin, not bad. Austin Reeves, decent. Dale Ellis, decent. Isaiah Thomas, not good. Allen Houston, decent. CJ McCollum, not very good. Terrence Ross, pretty solid card. Like, the 100 overalls were solid. The Invincibles were all somewhat interesting. Jaylen Brown, Dwight Howard, Damian Lillard, John Wall, Paul Millsap, not insane, but decent. And the GOAT cards were spectacular. The problem is almost all the spectacular GOAT cards were either get kept behind the GOAT Festival or extremely unattainably expensive. Because even now, if we go look at the price of GOAT cards at the end of the season, these cards cost millions of MT for the really good ones, and the very solid ones are $1 million MT. The MJs and Tim Duncans and Kawhi Leonards and guys like that are going to run you close to $1 million MT. It's just pretty darn expensive to get these cards. They're not very attainable for people, and that is just an unfortunate place to be, is basically my opinion. I just think as a whole, the guys people really want to use are tougher to get or underpowered. There are versions of multiple players, like for example, like there are attainable versions of Wemby and LeBron and Jordan and Giannis and guys like that, but those cards aren't generally as good as the best versions, and the best versions cost a lot of money to get. There's just no getting around that fact. And I just think end game my team has never been quite this, dang, you don't get anything. I don't know, maybe last year was bad too, but this has been a really, really rough season 8. So I don't know. Season 9 is probably not going to be great. Don't expect a lot. It's not even really going to have content. This probably isn't a great sign for 2K26 because realistically, like, why would they change things if they don't have to change it even at the end of the year to like try to suck people in for next year? They feel very confident in their ability to just make as much money as they can. Like, I bet they're still making tons of money. The craziest thing is this is the worst season 8 I think we've ever had. I bet it's the most money they've ever made. That's the thing. That's the craziest part about it. So I don't know. That being said, it's gonna do it for the video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.